Would you look at that? That. Do you have any idea what that is? Well, you could tell by the sign it says tumbleweed. But tumbleweed is a local watering hole here in Stillwater. And as you can see by the sign below it, tomorrow the 3rd, and then the 4th, and on Saturday the 5th is Calf Fry Festival. Do you know what this means? It means this is a Sometimes Rob! I can't do that song very well. It's a Rob that happens sometimes. But hi everybody. I'm sorry. I'm a little freaking out here because now you can tell I'm in my car right now. Now I didn't want to be in my car when I made this video. Honestly, I actually wanted to be walking around, but there's some nasty weather coming into Stillwater here shortly, so the wind is blowing really strong right now, and if I go step out with this phone and walk around in the wind, all you're going to hear is hear the usual sound instead of my voice. So I decided I'll just stay in the car and show you from here. Now the reason I'm showing you all this, and the reason I'm even excited about any of this, is because Calf Fry is one of, if not the biggest event of Stillwater for the year. Now, I've never attended. I probably never will attend. But it is a 3-day concert. It's where they focus primarily on a type of music called red dirt music. Red dirt music is a style of country music that I never even heard of before moving to Oklahoma. But the reason they call it red dirt music is here. I'm going to see if I can show you here. If you look there in front of the car, you see that is dirt. That is red dirt. Here in Oklahoma, most of the dirt is red, as opposed to the normal brown soil type of colored dirt that you see everywhere else. Now, I'm sure a lot of you who've never lived in this area probably saw pictures of things like out in the desert, rock formations out like Arizona and stuff, and it's very similar to that. Yes, that is the style of red clay type dirt that is prominent in this part of the country. And a style of country music has been named after that, mainly because it was, if I understand correctly, it was originated in this part of the country. And so that's what the type of music you'll likely hear at this particular concert would be. We're talking, but it's a huge concert. Now, right over here, right in front of where I'm parked, see this big grassy field. This big grassy field, you see those cars driving by over there? That's important because this grassy field is rented out by Tumbleweed in order to allow for all the parking. Now, I know there's a parking lot there, but there's just no room in that parking lot for everybody. So they rent all of this out, and this just becomes just packed. And I mean packed full of people, like $5-10 a car or something like that. And then the reason I pointed out those cars is because where those cars are driving is a street. On the other side of that street is a church. They rent the parking lot or that grassy field on the other side of the street. And that is also packed full of cars when this is all said and done. So there are a lot of people. This street you can see right here, the intersection for this street and the one I just mentioned up there is a stop sign. Last year, I helped give rides home because there's a lot of adult drinking done at this event, both inside and in the tailgating area. So there were a lot of people who were just way too inebriated to drive. Now, of course, everyone's heard of the more famous ride companies out there that you just punch up on your phone, on your app, how you want to get a ride, and they'll tell you how much it's going to cost. Those places out here, for coming out here, were somewhere around $20. Going home again, however, I heard that people were complaining somewhere around $80 to $100 just to leave here and go about 3 miles home. So supply and demand is definitely in full force. But a lot of people didn't either want to pay, didn't feel they could pay, or whatever, thought that they were sober enough to drive, and they ended up driving home. Now, I will tell you that before these companies really became popular and before I did what I was doing, the Calf Fry concert event was what I call the fundraiser for the county, because they pulled over and arrested a lot, and I mean a lot, of people for DUIs. And DUIs, of course, are not cheap. On top of what it does to your record and so forth, you also pay a lot of money. So the city of Stillwater brings out police officers, state officers, sheriff's offices from all over the state to come down here specifically for this. They set up DUI checkpoints. They have officers of different types driving all the streets all surrounding this event. And if they see somebody who they think might be inebriated or otherwise needing to be pulled over, they will not hesitate at all. And if it turns out you are inebriated, whether you were driving straight as an arrow, but you're inebriated, you get to be given a special ride wearing the silver bracelets, if you know what I mean. So when I did my bit last year, and in conjunction with several other individuals and those companies I was talking about, last year we brought down DUI arrests by, last I read, somebody said it was 48%. My business partner believes it's 48% from the year before. So last year was 2017. For 2017, with all of our help, we brought down the DUI arrest numbers by about 48% from 2016, which is fantastic. I am very glad to hear it. I don't even remember how many people I piled into my van here and just trucked all around Stillwater, getting them home, back to their hotels, because of course a lot of people come from out of state, a lot of from different towns all across the state, and these hotels have been booked up for over a month now for this event, and got them safely where they needed to go. I was damn proud to be part of that. But the event again, once again, starts tomorrow. I came out here right now because I wanted to peruse the event. Now, sorry, let me start over. When I started doing what I was doing, I had not really contemplated about Calf Fry. I was strictly sticking with the bars and other drinking establishments in the main part of Stillwater. This is pretty far north out of town. But in the main part of Stillwater, since it's a college town where Oklahoma State University is, there are a lot of college kids who go drinking on the weekends. So I was focused mainly on them. Now, it turns out there was another, I think I mentioned this before, there was another gentleman doing something exactly the same as I was. He had labels on the side of his van. It said, "Safe at Home, designated driver service." So I met with him. His name is Dennis. And when Calf Fry came up, we cooperated a little bit because he had a major customer base, all asking specifically for him to take them out here, and then take them back home. And there were lots of times when he was driving around and he had people waiting and they really couldn't wait much longer. So he would ask, "Hey, if you're free, would you mind picking these guys up for me?" So I would help him out. And although I didn't have a major customer base by that point, I did have a few in the same situation happen. So I directed them to find his van. Now, he parked right across the street from Calf Fry, which is where I'm sitting right now. There's a gravel driveway. I don't know if you can see, but the driveway is actually part of this, I don't know what the heck that is, a refinery, a granary, a somethingery, nunnery, I don't know. Anyway, there's something going on over there, and this driveway is part of their establishment. Now, at night when the event happens, this is all closed up. There's a metal gate there so nobody can mess with their property. But last year there were a bunch of us all parked right here, and we were sitting waiting for people just to go, because it's just right across the street, right there, and they just would walk across the street and pile in. Now, there were others that were doing the same thing we were doing. However, after the event was over, they disappeared. They stopped. They did not continue doing it on the regular like I was. Now, Dennis and I have since teamed up. The organization thing I was running and his company both merged. We're now called the Drunk Drivers. And the Drunk Drivers designated driver service is going to be kicking tail this year. We had originally tried to arrange to have somewhere around 4 different cars with people that we trusted to take people home. And I say trusted because there are a lot of factors you have to consider with something like this. You figure that you're going to be taking a lot of people to their homes. You have to make sure that whoever's driving isn't someone who's unscrupulous with that type of information. You're going to have their addresses, their phone numbers, all kinds of things that belong to, well, let's just face it, there are a lot of young ladies out here. And in this event, these young ladies sometimes don't exactly dress as conservatively as they would otherwise. So you have to make sure that whoever is going to be taking these folks home or to their hotels or whatever are not going to use that information in the wrong way. So we had some folks, that plus at the same time, neither Dennis nor I, since we first started, have ever asked for a penny to do this. We are 100% free. Now, I say asked during the ride. Now, we do have fundraisers. We're selling t-shirts, in fact, as a way to raise funds, because this is getting kind of expensive and all. But the point is, when someone is in our car, it's 100% free for them to get home. They never have to worry about whether they have a penny in their pocket. They don't have to pay us out their card or anything. So if they choose to donate, that's fine. We appreciate it greatly, but we'll never require it or ask for it. We have to make sure that whoever drives for us does likewise. We have to make sure we trust them not to tarnish the drunk driver's name and start saying, hey, there's a tip jar right here, or something stupid like that. We have to make sure that these are people that we have zero doubt will do the right thing with our name on their cars. But either way, the folks that we're going to try to have help us out this year have unfortunately all been unable to help out. So it's just Dennis and I. It's just this one van so far. Dennis is going to be sitting shotgun. I'll be driving. And we're not only going to do our best, we're going to do fantastic this year. And we're going to help bring down those DUIs just like we did before. But either way, I wanted to bring all of you folks out here, all of my viewers, to take a look. This is going to be a good portion of my view during the concert. I'll be getting lots of calls. Hey, can you come take me to the concert? Hey, I need to go home now. Now, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, on the streets over here, there are so many people. Now, for all of you who live like in Los Angeles, where I grew up, you've probably gone to a Dodger game. You've seen the mass exodus of human beings leaving the stadium, trying to get to where they want, to their cars and such, and then the cars leaving. Oh, it's ridiculous. But imagine these streets. Imagine these streets pretty much being Dodger Stadium on a 2-lane road. And people are driving because they're leaving the main parking lot. They're leaving the tailgating parking lot. They're coming to pick people up from the event, and they're having to navigate past all these people. Oh, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it took me last year at many times 20 minutes to get just to pull up here with a line of cars all at the stop sign from the time I finally reached my point in line and walking up or driving up at a crawl and then coming inside. It was a good 20 minutes. And what has to be an eighth of a mile. And it's ridiculous. So we found another way to get to this driveway here so we don't have to fight that mass. Now, I will admit, one of the things that was kind of awesome about what I was doing, because I was driving there, people were watching me. They were waiting on an Uber or whatever. They were waiting for their friends, and they didn't want to wait forever because the friends were fighting that traffic, and I had already, by that point, made it through. They were flagging me down. Let me in, please. Let me in. I gotta go. I won't be able to do that this time. So I won't be able to help out that crowd, but a lot of people are going to see us from coming out. I'm going to, whenever we're not sitting here waiting for somebody, we're going to walk up and start handing out business cards, because we do have business cards here. We've had these for a while, the drunk drivers, and we're going to be passing those out, letting people know, hey, if you need us, We'll be bark right out here. If you come out and you don't see us, sit tight. We'll be back again because we're not done until everyone's gone. We don't stop at a certain time. We stop when the last phone call stops. That's all there is to it. Everyone gets to go home. But yeah, sorry, I did not mean this to turn into a 15-minute commercial. I get really enthusiastic about what we do. I really love what we do. I stumbled on doing this. I think I mentioned that in the last video, and I love every minute of it. But this is the big event of the year. Now, still, the Oklahoma State University, OSU, has a large football fan base. So the football games that they have every fall are, of course, big events as well. But they're not ever as huge as far as ride load as what we do here, to be quite honest with you. So this is going to be something that we have been preparing for over a month. I've already spoken with the individual here at Tumbleweed. His name is Philip, who runs who runs Calf Fry this year. Great guy. Told him about what we do and how different ways we could help. He's more than happy to allow us to give him a hand or to help out. He's allowed us to drop people off right there at the front doors. There's going to be people, of course, blocking the driveways. They're going to know to let us through. Now, of course, where we run into trouble is that right by the front door is always a big line of people all waiting to get in, turn in their tickets, and then I got to fight them just to get out again. So I don't know if we're going to do that or not. We're going to kind of play it by ear, wait and see how things go. But tomorrow, Thursday the 3rd, is when all this starts. And today the fun has already started for today. There's a different event going on. It's not anywhere near as big, called the Gypsy Caravan, the Gypsy Tavern, Gypsy something, I don't know, Gypsy something or another. It's basically a fundraiser concert that a couple of the bars all participate in. They have several bands playing in each bar, and you get to walk from bar to bar, just depending on which band you want to see. They're all very close, within walking distance. So that has actually, I think it's already started. I've already taken a couple of people out there. Hey Rob, are you on? Oh, I don't know if you heard that. That was my business partner Dennis. We have an app that allows us to use our phone as walkie-talkies, and I forgot to turn my airplane mode on. Oops. Well, anyway, I better go. Just know this is where I'm going to be the next 3 days, so I'm probably going to be, if I'm not out here, I'm going to be asleep because I'm going to be exhausted. Have fun out there. If anybody who watches this, come on out. Have a great time. Maybe later on I'll make another video and I'll tell you what the heck a calf fry is. Take care. You can go home now and sleep well.